Coming up on the Hong Kong Racing Show, jockey Harry Bentley joins us as our special guest, fresh from his win aboard Stormy Grove in the Classic Cup.
I'd have to put that up with probably my top win here.
Plus, we recap Romantic Warrior's win in the Gold Cup and look ahead to this weekend at Sha Tin. Welcome along to another episode of the Hong Kong Racing Show. I'm Andrew Brown. My co-host is horse racing photographer extraordinaire Alex Evers, who is finally back stateside after spending the last couple of weeks in Hong Kong. What's happening, Alex?
Good to be home, Brownie. And again, we got some exciting races. I got to see some wonderful things. I got to see Chinese New Year. I got to see Ellis Wong graduate, Kai Rising, Romantic Warrior, Classic Cup.
Yeah.
With our boy Harry Bentley. We'll get to talk to later. I'm excited, looking forward to talk to him. Yeah. But the beat goes on, and we're excited to talk about Hong Kong racing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, you really timed that trip well, didn't you? You saw a lot of highlights. It was awesome stuff. But most recently, last weekend, Romantic Warrior did it again, taking out the second leg of the Triple Crown. Were his fans out in force again?
We had the whole crew out there, Brownie. I got to send you a picture. The guys had the flags and the plushies and the shirts and the whole 9 yards, and they were cheering for J-Mac. And that's honestly one of the coolest things is to hear the fans, once they get done with the interview with Nick Child, and the fans are going, J-Mac, J-Mac, and he plays up for the crowd, and they love it, and it's great. And that's their hometown hero. It's been wonderful, and I've been so lucky since I've been going over there. I got Beauty Generation, into Golden 60, Romantic Warrior, Kai Rising. It seems like Hong Kong has popped off with a star after star after star. Okay. And these horses are truly world-class horses, right? Like it's Romantic Warrior's travel. He's taken me places I've only dreamed of going. And it's great to see him represent Hong Kong on the global stage. And this year it's just been special to see him back at home. And what a show he put on for the crowd again. I know Voyage Bubble didn't quite run his race, but Romantic Warrior, consummate professional. And it's one of those horses, I don't think I've ever seen a horse come back off an injury and seemingly improve and get better. He looks better. He looked incredible going into the parade ring. One of those horses, he looked a winner from the time he stepped into the parade ring until the time he stepped on the track. And obviously he ran his race. And now we'll see if anybody from the UK shows up, maybe Rebels Romance to challenge him in the champion and Shader. But I can't imagine there's gonna be a lot of people lining up to come face that beast, even over the 2,400 meters. And to me, he seems like a better horse now. So what his performance in the last time when he ran second with Purton aboard, I think he's just going to be a lock for that one. And back-to-back Triple Crown winners, Brownie. I'm paying it right now, and it's kind of like America in the 70s where we got Seattle Slews, Secretariat, and Affirmed. Bang, bang, bang. Voyage Bubble. Romantic Warrior should do it. And who knows? Maybe next year we'll get a rematch with him and Forever Young in the Saudi Cup. That would be absolutely brilliant to see. Salivating over it.
Yeah, well, that's right, and of course, those were the original plans for Romantic Warrior to have been in the Middle East. He probably would have been in Dubai about now. So perhaps connections are quite pleased that they stayed at home. But as you point out, back-to-back Triple Crown winners. It took 31 years between River Verdon and Voyage Bubble last year, and then to perhaps see it back-to-back, that would be quite phenomenal. We'll find out Champions and Chater Cup later in the season towards the end of May. Maybe Rebels Romance, who won in Dubai last weekend, will make the trip over again. He won the race, of course, in 2024, I believe, the two-time Breeders' Cup Turf winner. Be great to see those two battling it out over the 2,400 meters, the mile and a half at Sha Tin. Both getting on in age, the older gentlemen's, but we'll see what happens later on in the season. Plenty to look forward to then. And also there was a big night at Happy Valley during the week too. Before we get off to Harry, Alex, I should mention a great night for both Zach Purton and Luke Ferraris. They rode 6 of the 9 winners at Happy Valley, both landing trebles, including Lukey Ferraris getting up on 5-4-2 once again. One of my favorite horses from when I backed him on IJC night at Happy Valley in December at those succulent odds of 70-1. There was no 70-1 available last Wednesday night there.
Were you banging the drum for him again, Brownie?
It was a good night. I just regret that I hadn't been in Hong Kong long enough to do the exchange rate, and I didn't have more on 5-4-2. But anyway, not to worry. still managed to pick up a few thousand Hong Kong dollars, which is not bad.
7-1. Just pretend it's America, Brownie. Just pretend you made, $4 or $5 US dollars. No one has to know.
Yeah, that's true. All right, as you mentioned, Harry Bentley joining us. Really looking forward to catching up with him. He's actually in the green room at the moment, so let's bring in Harry. Well, it's been a terrific last week or so for jockey Harry Bentley in Hong Kong. A terrific season, really, and we're pleased that Harry could join us as this week's special guest. How are things, Harry?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, very pleased with how the last few weeks have gone. So just trying to keep the ball rolling now.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about it all in a second, but we know you've got some family in town and you're about to go and join some of the sights and sounds of Hong Kong with them. Before we do talk some racing, what are some of the top things that you like to do with your family and friends when they're visiting you in Hong Kong?
Yeah, well, hiking here is definitely high up the list. Typically, actually, my brother's visiting, and the weather in England's been horrific this year. So he was hoping to come to Hong Kong and get a bit of sunshine. We haven't had any, typically, which is just the way it goes, isn't it? But yeah, a bit of hiking, and I like to play a bit of golf. But when people are visiting, there's just like so many restaurants here, and actually at the end of this week, I think it starts today, Live Golf, so that'll be a bit of fun. There's always something going on in town.
Where are you in terms of rankings in the as far as Hong Kong jockeys are concerned? Golf rankings. I know Zach's probably right up there, isn't he, handicap wise, and Huey's pretty good.
Yeah, those two guys are up there, and then actually a few of us are really quite level. Like Lyle Hewitson, Alexi Bedell, Luke Ferraris, we're all a fairly similar level, so we can all have a pretty good game. And a lot of the boys like a bet as well, so you can get pretty competitive on the course.
I was gonna say, who's the shark? Who's the one running the hustle on the game out there?
Oh, Hugh is up there, yeah, for sure. And Zach, I haven't played much with Zach actually. I think I played with them once, but those guys, yeah, they are hustlers for sure.
Yeah. Hugh's got all that Winks money hanging around. He's got plenty to gamble with.
Yeah. He's got loads to get rid of. So he's just sort of, mind you, he's clever. He doesn't seem to give it away much.
That's great. Well, as I mentioned, it's been a great past week for you. Congrats on the midweek winner at Happy Valley aboard Game Player Elite. But let's go back to last weekend and Stormy Grove in the Classic Cup. Some great footage of you crossing the wire, Harry. Where does that win rank in terms of your Hong Kong career so far?
I'd have to put that up with probably my top win here. I obviously won Group 2 earlier on in the season on Tomodachi Kokoroe, which was massive as well. But the Classic Cup is quite a standout. It's one of those races that the dream is really alive for the Derby, and yeah, it's a big one to have ticked off the list, and especially having family here as well, it means an awful lot. So yeah, I'd probably put that right up at the top.
Once again, a very patient and ultimately perfectly judged ride from you. He's finished in a race fastest final 400 of 23:04. When did you think you were a chance in the race?
Well, down the back straight, when I knew we were going a good gallop, I thought I could be in business here. I obviously didn't think at that point I wasn't getting ahead of myself, because I knew, some of the horses I've got to take on, and I just thought that the way that the race unfolded really was always going to suit my horse from what he had done in his previous race, albeit against lesser opposition. But yeah, that gallop that was put on really was always going to help me. And yeah, I was tracking the right horse, and I knew that as soon as I pulled off him and just gave him a squeeze, once he responded and gave me that same feel that he did last time, I knew I was in business, or was going to be close. So that really, yeah, it all just fell into place nicely. But I think there are a few horses which didn't get the ideal trip. But these races always throw something up. They're never smooth for everybody. And I was fortunate that it just unfolded really nicely for me. And I think we just found the key with this horse. He needs to be ridden patiently. He needs to relax. I mean, he was even over racing over like 1400 meters. He was doing too much when we were riding him on the speed. So as soon as we've started to be a bit more patient with him. He's just gone to that next level, but he's still learning.
Going into the run, were you expecting the pace to be as quick as it was?
Well, I thought with numbers being drawn out wide,
Yeah.
probably ensure a good gallop, because I knew that Akash Varney would want to be on the pace, but then Derek Lung I would also need to take him on in order to get over. So I thought the way the draws were as well, I thought that there would be a good gallop on. And I was always quite happy with where I was drawn. On paper, it always looks a bit scary when you're drawn out wide. But as I say, he's a horse that wants to be ridden patiently. And when I knew that pace would most likely be there, I was always happy with where I was going to land.
In those weight for age races like the Classic Series, is it better to be drawn out wide, like where you don't have the penalty for having a high weight and going 3 wide or something like that? Because it seems like the horses that draw inside always seem to find trouble. The Classic Mile, there was trouble. This one, there was trouble, and you seem to have the cleanest of runs.
Yeah, I think you can make a case for either or, really. I mean, sometimes, obviously, if your horse likes to just be ridden box seat, and then you want to be drawn low, don't you? But you're also going to have to run the risk of perhaps hitting a bit of traffic and needing to find a way out. But yeah, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think sometimes you just ride that patient race and it will just part like the Red Sea and you get that beautiful run through. But other times you just run into the back of things and find traffic. So just depends really how the race is run. It's a simple one of, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not, I think.
So tactically, he's won in similar fashion at his last 2. Of course, he won the race named after Alex, the Miss Hong Kong pageant handicap, the race before the Classic Cup. So it doesn't sound like any tactical adjustments you'd consider heading into the Derby over the 2,000 meters. Is that right? Just keep him riding him quiet out the back, and any distance concerns?
Well, yeah, to your first question, absolutely ride him the same way. He's, as I mentioned in a previous answer, I think we found the key to him of just relaxing him early, letting him relax into the race and then finishing with that strong kick. And I'd certainly want to be trying to do a similar sort of thing. And then as far as the distance goes, I mean, I didn't have any stamina queries after that race, but I would really like a strong gallop because that just ensures that he can drop his head and relax into the race. And if they were to go a muddling pace and stop start, then we might find a bit of trouble in that scenario. So I just hope that they're going to go a nice even pace and it's going to be a truly run contest.
Must be so exciting to have such a live chance in one of the most prestigious races in Hong Kong. Alex, you took a great photo of Harry after the race, didn't you?
Yeah, with you and your brother walking down to the parade ring after to celebrate with the winners enclosure. What did it mean to have your brother there for that big win?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I'm very close to my brother and he's always followed my career, and we grew up riding ponies and we were extremely competitive with each other. So yeah, he's always been very happy to see me, succeed and ride the winners. So for him to be there was just that little bit more special. And funny enough, we were talking afterwards. Seems to be for most of my big wins, he's been there. So seems to be a bit of a good luck charm. And yeah, I'd be happy for him to hang around.
That's good. Is he going to be around on Sunday when you jump on Tomodachi Kokoroe's back?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually his last day. I think he goes on Monday, so he'll be there, and yeah, hopefully brings a bit of luck for that race as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's an extra leg up for us that your brother's going to.
Good segue.
Yeah. How's he going?
He's going well. He's held his form from the beginning of the season, and obviously he seemed to be so well handicapped at the beginning of the season. But he's climbed the ranks, and as a consequence, the weight's gone up. So he's up against good horses, isn't he? I mean, it looks a really competitive contest with like Fast Network and Patch of Theta. So it looks to be a competitive race, but I've been fortunate again to land a really good draw on him, and we'll ride him much the same, and hopefully he can put in another big performance.
Outside of your Classic Cup win, aboard Stormy Grove and the Premier Bowl aboard Tomodachi Kokoroe. Is there another ride that you particularly, or win that you're particularly proud of this season? It can be one of those if you prefer.
Yeah, I'd say Tomodachi. Just I was pleased with his run at the end of last season,
Right.
and then I got on him at the beginning of this season, trialed him, and he was absolutely flying. And I just knew going into his first few races, he was just ready to win. And the way he seemed to go to that next level was really satisfying. So that was great. And then obviously not this season, but Hong Lok Golf was a great horse for me last season, and got that win on him earlier on in the season, and that was pretty satisfying as well. And he's off with a little bit of an injury at the moment, but nothing too serious. So I'll be looking forward to partnering up with him again.
Yeah, it's been such a successful partnership, hasn't it? I think you guys have combined, is it for 7 wins over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, he's been an amazing horse. He seems to just not have a ceiling really, and just doesn't win by far, but finds that little bit more each time.
Yeah. You think he's got a group win in his future?
Yeah, I do. I was a little bit disappointed with his Group 3 performance, but I think can be forgiven. He's not the same horse at Happy Valley. He needs that long straight at Sha Tin. But I'm pretty confident he'll be able to have some success in group company.
Yeah, cool. Have you ridden in the North America? I think you've ridden in Woodbine. Is that right?
Yeah. I rode in Woodbine, and also rode in California at Santa Anita in the Breeders' Cup. I rode in Breeders' Cup Mile. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
2016, right, against Tourist.
Exactly. Yeah. 2016. Can't believe that's 10 years ago now. It's crazy, isn't it? But that was a great experience. I went over there with Lamarso, and he was a top sprinter in England, and won a couple of Group 1s on him. And he was somewhere between, like, I'd say 7 furlongs was actually his perfect trip, but there's no Group 1 7 furlong races in the UK. And then we were going to go for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And then I think the prize money for the mile was double the sprint. And being an easy mile, I think the owner thought maybe that's the better option, and just so happened to not really work out for us. But it was a great experience nonetheless. I'd love to head over again another time. And then I rode in Woodbine as well, which was really cool. I mean, I was there for like 8 hours, if that. So it was a very much in and out job, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and of course you've ridden all around the world. Our North American viewers who may not be aware too much about you might not know that you're a 6-time champion jockey in Qatar. What makes riding in Hong Kong different, I guess, to everywhere else you've ridden around the world, Harry?
I think the environment is one of the things that's just so different to anywhere else as a jockey. I mean, you're not allowed agents, so booking your own rides is a key part of your success and how your trajectory goes here as a jockey. You've just got to be on the ball the whole time. And then riding wise, it's obviously very pace dependent. We come out of the stalls and you're into a position really quickly, especially at Happy Valley. You need to take advantage of your good draws. Whereas riding in somewhere like Europe, you can bounce out and take your time and you will filter into a position. And if you were to ride like that here, you'd get left behind quite quickly. So there are certain nuances to get used to. But apart from that, I mean, it's obviously quite similar in other aspects, but it's ferocious. You've got to be just on the ball the whole time. And you can't rest on your laurels at all.
Yeah. Would you say this has been your best season thus far?
I think, I think it's probably up there. 2 seasons ago, I ended on 39 winners. I was desperate to break into the 40s, but couldn't quite get there. But this season, I'm on path, I think, and also just the quality of races I've won up to this point of the season is better than any other. So I just hope I can keep those relationships with the trainers, and keep knocking in the winners. That would be great.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, anything else for Harry before we let him go off for a hike with his brother?
No, I appreciate your time so much. Congratulations and thanks for chatting with us.
Pleasure. Not at
thanks
all,
so much.
guys. Thanks for having me, and hope to be on here again soon.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. We wish you all the best hitting 40 winners or more for this season. But at the end of the day, just get that stakes prize money column down the far right up there. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It is at the end of the day, yeah. Money talks.
Yeah. All the best for the rest of the season and good luck in the Hong Kong derby. Can't wait to watch
Cheers,
that.
guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic to catch up with Harry Bentley. Time now for our international moment of the week, brought to you by World Pool. And we head down to Royal Randwick in Sydney, where 24 hours before riding Romantic Warrior in the Gold Cup, James McDonald got the job done aboard the very impressive Autumn Glow, who stayed undefeated, making it 10 wins from 10 starts in the Group 1 Very Elegant Stakes. Alex, the current Longines world's best jockey, now has 126 Group 1 wins to his name. He's just 3 shy of the Australian record currently held by Damien Oliver. It's a phenomenal performance. He's a phenomenal rider. You've been lucky enough to photograph in several different countries over the years.
Yeah, and just a matter of time before he docks that off, right? It's going to be interesting, and we'll see what kind of streak the Autumn Glow can run up here. 10 in a row is impressive, and again, the mark of a really talented, tremendous horse is that level of consistency. Not what they do on the racetrack, but they show up time in, time out, and run and win. And I think that's the most impressive thing. It doesn't matter what you're running against, where you're going. If you can be consistent and constantly put in those good runs, that's a sign of a true elite top in 1% talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a weekend it was for J-Mac to be able to ride her at Royal Randwick, HQ for him in Sydney. A Group 1 victory there. Jump on a plane, probably get a few hours sleep, land in Hong Kong, and then ride Romantic Warrior to victory too. So 2 Group 1s in the one weekend for J-Mac. All right, time now to take a look at Sha Tin this weekend. And the feature race we're going to look at is the Class 1 Essex Handicap, contested over the 1,200 metres. That's about 6 furlongs. Number 1 Fast Network carries top weight, but should be pretty hard to beat here. First time he hasn't faced Kaying Rising in Group 1 company for quite a while. Patch of Theta also ran into Kaying Rising last start. Did win a Class 1 over the 1,400 metres, about 7 furlongs before that. 3 Beauty Waves is coming off a win in Class 2 company, has trialled well since. We spoke to Harry earlier about Tomodachi Kokoroe. He's happy with the barrier, the post position, and says he's been training well. Stellar Express is on a 3-win streak. Storm Rider was a little unlucky last out. Did a bit of work up front before fading to finish 7th. Invincible Shield came home well behind Sky Trust last out. Drops in weight. Speed Map has Beauty Waves and Stellar Express leading the way. Alex, who do you like in this pretty interesting Class 1 contest?
Who do I like, Brownie? Who do I like here? Well, look, it's well documented that I'm a super fan of Invincible Shield, and he gets in at lighter weight this time. He got a tougher trip against Sky Trust, who Sky Trust was getting the 5-pound break from Ellis Wong, just missed against him. I'm not too sure on Fast Network if this was the plan to always go here. He hasn't run in 42 days. Clearly, I mean, he's probably the most talented horse in the race, but I'm not sure if this was the plan, if they've diverted from their plan to go to Dubai or not. Maybe this was always the plan and it was the prep race for him, but again, he has to carry high weight. So I'm looking forward to seeing Invincible Shield here, getting in at 121. Yeah. I don't like him drawing kind of outside. I think he runs his better races when he's covered up in behind horses, but I am going to stick with him, and hopefully we get a bit of a price on him. And I'm going to go with Sky Trust in the 2nd spot and Fast Network in there for 3rd. But I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Fast Network just outclasses this bunch here and goes on and wins, because I did like his chances in the Alquaz if he was to go.
Yeah. Same trifecta for us, just different order. I think it's going to be really tough to beat Fast Network here. He hasn't been disgraced, as I mentioned, behind Kaying Rising at his last few. Gets the services of Kaying Rising's jockey, Zach Purton. So, as you pointed out, probably the most talented horse in the race with Hong Kong's best jockey, drawn in 1, so can take the shortest route home. So I think wins and wins well for mine. And I've got your top selection, Invincible Shield, in for second, who's going to appreciate carrying 10 less pounds. So that is my exacta fast network to beat Invincible Shield. And Sky Trust, who you have in for second, I thought can run another big race. He'll have next to no weight on his back once again, with Ella Swan claiming the 3 pounds now, not the 5, but still is carrying an absolute feather weight. So same numbers, different order for us in the feature race at Sha Tin on Sunday night, or Saturday night North American time, I should say, Sunday afternoon Hong Kong time. And the other big race of the night, race 7, the Devon Handicap over the 800 meters, about 9 furlongs. I am making California Totality my best bet on the card. I think he's going to appreciate getting back to a track and distance that he likes. So California Totality in race 7 for me. Alex, anything else you want to make mention of?
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to play the dirt races there at Sha Tin, and then it comes up that I really, really like Magnifique in the 8th race there. He draws a barrier this time. He'd been drawn outside last time. He ran really, really well. Got beat by Aurora Patch when he was on the outside. Doesn't really get the weight advantage to Aurora Patch. Only looks like a 4-pound difference between the two, but he ran incredibly well for his first up on the dirt, fast time. So I'm going to look for him to turn the tables on Aurora Patch in the 8th race.
Fantastic. Santa Anita for you this weekend?
Santa Anita for me, more grade 1s, more photo editing. I'm gonna go all out this week in Brownie and just load up cameras, put them on the turn, put them in the tower. Even though we don't have the biggest of fields, Derby prep, Kentucky Derby. We're gonna call it the Derby here in America until someone corrects me. In fact, Brownie, I've converted my Waze app to the metric system. So when it's giving me road directions, it's telling me in the metric system how many meters, because I can understand it from the racetrack perspective. Did you change your apps here to be feet and yards and whatever else we use, miles, or are you still on the metric system?
I'm becoming more and more Americanized as the days go on. So yeah, I think I even said Hong Kong Derby when Casper was on last week. I heard that little clip back. So the only thing that I can't get used to is Fahrenheit. I think just Fahrenheit's just too bizarre to me. So I always change it back to Celsius in my phone.
I can't figure it out, and I've actually left Celsius on my phone, and I'm trying to just eyeball it and get used to the weather here versus there. But I need like a watch conversion or something. Like have my watch on Fahrenheit and my phone on Celsius, or vice versa. But I've fully embraced the Hong Kong and the international running. I'm using the terms, the distance, everything about it. It's going to be good to get out of San Diego though again and see some racing and a little bit more predictable areas where they run for the remotes down there. Hopefully we get some nice ones. A Kentucky Derby prep authentic won this race, the San Felipe. So go on to win the Kentucky Derby in 2020. So maybe we see something special out there, but it's good to be at the races every week in Brownie. I love it. Clearly. Yeah. And then I'm going to come home and I'm going to bet all 11 races. No quitting here.
Outstanding stuff. All right, Alex. Well, good to have you back stateside. Enjoy your weekend out at Santa Anita. Hopefully I'll see you there, and we'll see you next week on this show again. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap things up?
Well, if I see you, Brownie, I've got a Zach Purton hat for you and one to give away to the fans of the show. So maybe we're gonna make that happen here. And we're working on a little special project on some Kaiying Rising 18 win cards with some win tickets in the card. Me and Sterling Designs. So that's keep an eye posted for these limited edition cards. I'm super excited. He's a super talented graphic designer, and it's been fun to partner up with him with these pictures. So keep an eye out for that.
All right, we will do. You guys are both very active on social, so I'm sure we'll see some links and some releases when they're available. So thanks for that, and thank you again for your time. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next week on the Hong Kong Racing Show.